Okay, so we've got our base level Parks Golf website, but there's nothing in it. And we want to start with a starter template. So to do that, I go to the dashboard of the WordPress website. We then mouse over the appearance menu, and I'm going to click on Starter Templates. This is using the Starter Templates plugin. And from here, we need to pick an appropriate template. Now, because this is a golf website, we're going to be using this template here, which is the lawn care version of the site. When it comes to fonts and things like that, we can take a bit of a look here to see what the difference in fonts would bring. So as I click on those different fonts, you can see that you can change that. You can see that you've got different color schemes as well. I'm quite happy with this color scheme. I'm just thinking for font, we want something that's probably a little bit easier to read. So let's just have a bit of a look through. Okay, that one looks pretty good. So it also tells us the required plugins here. So we've got Kadence Blocks, Blocksy Pro, Kadence Pro, they're all active. From there, we can decide also what do we want to do. Do we want to do a single page import or do we want to do a full site import? I'm going to do a full site import and then we're going to work through the content and fix that up. So I'll click full site. So we've got the fonts and all that ready to go and the advanced settings. So I click start importing and this is now importing this site into my setup. All right, the import is now finished. So I click on the finish view your site and we can see that all of this stuff is now imported. We've got all the content that we wanted and everything's ready to start working through. Now, obviously we've got to work through all this content and switch it over to the Parks Golf. So to do that, we're gonna have to change over logos, change over all these items up the top. And also we can see that the menu there is not appearing. So we're going to look at that first. So if I click on menus, we can take a look and see why this menu is not appearing. So I can see there that I don't actually have any menus. So the menus, for whatever reason, were not created. If I go and have a look at all pages, we can see that the pages have been created, but we don't have those other elements there. So to do things nice and simple, I'm going to delete a couple of pages that I know I'm not going to need. So first of all, the About, Contacts, Gallery, well, most of those are okay. So let's first of all take a view of making a menu, just so that we've got something as a placeholder. So I've got my main menu, and I'm going to click on View All here, and we're just going to go ahead and say Add to Menu like so. That's going to create a bit of a menu for me, just like that. That all looks okay. So I'm going to say Save Menu. And let's take a view of the site, and yep, we can see that we've got all those items inside that menu there. So that's looking okay. So now let's go back to my menu editor. And we can see that all of a sudden we've got a bunch of double ups. So what looks like happened here is it looks to me like there's a caching issue that happened when the site was created. And as a result, it didn't load the menu that was in there. Instead, it was stuck inside some sort of cache. So I've got to go and clean this up, just like so. Save again. And now that's going to mean that the items that are in that menu should now be showing. So this is something just to keep in mind, that with WP Engine, whenever you do any edits like that, you can end up with cache. That's going to mean that the edits that you've created or changed with any of these automated tools in the background aren't going to flush out the cache on the front end. To deal with that, we can go into the dashboard of your WordPress site, click on WP Engine, and click on Caching, and clear all caches. So that should be okay. And then we've got different types of settings here for cache lengths and stuff like that. We'll go and adjust that a little bit later. So now when I visit the site, we can see that everything looks okay and my template is now set up. So that's my first step. Now, the website that we're creating is for Parks Golf. So what we're going to do is first of all take a look at these social medias and this top bar up the top. I know what those items can be. So if I go to the existing parksgolf.com.au, this is the website we're replacing. We've got a phone number, I've got a YouTube and a Facebook there. So we're going to go and fix that first. So let's go into the customizer. Go to the header, and we're going to take a look at this HTML here. Click that, and we can see that we've got a call and an email there. So here we've got this call us today. Oops. And we're going to just fix that there. And then inside the text, I'm going to take a look at this. This has some code inside there. Alright, so I don't need it to be bolded, we just want that to be like so. And I noticed that on the website, when I look at it, I don't see a clear email until I get down to the bottom. So we're going to take that email as well. And we're going to pop that into there. And I'm going to make that a link. Just like that. So go publish, and now we can see that I've got the call and the email are both links. That's good. Next, we're going to take a look at the socials. So I just click on the cog there. Now we don't have Instagram, so we're going to remove that. Going to remove the Twitter, and then we're going to add a different social here because we do have YouTube. So we add YouTube like that, and then we take a look at the icon, SVG, image, etc. That all seems to be okay. So setting social links, we now open this up. So you'd think that inside that area that you could set the links, you can't. You have to do it inside social links here. This is for different types of rich text data. So we want to make sure that we're doing that in the right spot. And that means that from then on, wherever you put that particular link, it means it's going to work. Well, I should say wherever you put the elements, it's going to work. So just like that. So that's all we need. So say publish like that. And now the Facebook and YouTube links will work. So that's all good there. All right, so we're making some progress here. Okay, so for the Parks Golf, we have home, about, members, pro shop functions, news and updates. So we're going to have to flip a couple of things around. So first of all, I'm going to open up the services page. I'm going to change that to members. So we go to edit the page. Okay, and now I'm going to call this members instead. Now down here, we can also use that, which is going to be post title like so, and dynamic source just like that. Okay, so that there will now change to be the post title. So that's all okay. And then inside the page settings, we need to check that we've got the right information here. So these URLs aren't set yet, so that's okay. So I'm just going to say update by clicking that update button. And now when I view this page, it says members here, and members in the top of the browser. So that's all looking pretty good. So we had home, about, members. So I'm going to go to the customizer now as well. And I'm going to move that about page. So we want to go to, to the menu, not to the customizer. So let's go to menus. And we're going to move the about up like that. Okay. So we've got about, members, pro shop functions, news and updates. All right, so we can remove this project stuff. And gallery is going to stay because we're adding a new page for that. The contact page is going to stay as well. So we're just going to leave those pages for now. So we'll work through these ones and then do the rest of the editing. So we can see we've got those pages. They all seem to be working okay. That's good. That's good. Okay. All right, so that's all looking pretty good. Now we've got our footer, all of that seems to be okay. We're going to switch this here, this Parks Golf WordPress theme by Kadence. That's something else that we're going to do. So we want to make sure that we get this bottom area looked at. And I'm just going to go from the home to the about page, and we can see here that we've got this sort of block here about view services and contact us. Yeah, and we can see that that's repeated a little bit. It's not on the gallery page, and we've got the contact page too. Okay, so we can see we've got a few bits of edits. We can get this contact page done pretty quick, so let's go ahead and edit that. So if we go, we've got this contact information down here. So first and foremost, we're going to look at the address over here, and we're going to punch that in there. There we go. Good. Okay, so we're going to get that email address as well. That's good. And we've got the phone number. Okay, so let's take a look down here. We've got these icons. We're going to delete that one. Now, in theory, these icons should be filled with the URLs, but they're not. I don't know why they're not, they're just not. So this is one of those areas where even though the rich media is there, it's not actually populating these icons for us. So that's not a problem. We can just go ahead and copy those links. Okay, click update. Now we've got that little area there. And let's just see what we've got here. I'll take that there. Okay. That looks fine. Okay, and this block down here for the map, I'm going to actually delete that. I don't want the map there. And it's going to be members Okay. That looks pretty good. So we've got the course guide and all that. Okay, looking pretty good. All right, so we've got my contacts page done. Now, again, this being pluralized, I don't really like that. Saying contacts, it should just really say contact. So we've got the getting in touch. Contact us, again, it's not a real good name. It should say contact Parks Golf. So we're going to edit that. Parks Golf, book a tea time, contact our team. All of that looks good. These links are all updated. Everything's looking pretty good here. So that means we've got our contact page ready. So let's just take a look at the menus. That's got contacts there. Is that the actual name? Might just be contact. Yep, that was contacts there. So we're going to take that out and we say contact Parks Golf. Now we'll notice that the URLs aren't showing correctly. So that's another thing that I'm going to fix now before we go any further. And then we'll take a backup before we start sorting out photos, logos and those sorts of things. So we go into reading here. All of that looks to be correct. And then we're going to click on permalinks. And you'll notice with the permalinks that this setting isn't right. It's saying P blah, 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 right? We don't want that. What instead we want is the month and name like that. So then there's year, month name, post name. So save those changes. And now when I visit the site, if I go to the contact page, we can see that it says contacts up there. So that means I have to edit this page and fix the permalink as well. So I just click over there, edit that, and click update. And then view the page. So now we've got our permalinks working the way they should. Cool. That gallery page isn't working, so what I'm going to do is just go ahead and delete it. So the gallery's there. Let's have a look. There's no galleries found at this point. So I'll go back to pages. All right, so we've got that gallery there. We're just going to trash it. There's no point keeping that for now. Now, when you trash a page and then visit the site, you'll notice that it automatically gets removed from the menu. It's all good. Now, on here, if I come to the home page, we've got this book a game, which takes you to an external link. So I'm going to copy that link address and I want that inside my menu. So this call to action button that says get started, we want to have that changed to be book a game. So I go into the customizer and then we've got this area up the top here, design. Now we can change that design. I could do like a grey or something like that. The green looks okay. So I'm going to leave it at that, but I can click on the button link down there and then I'm going to say book a game. And that's going to open a new tab and has a no follow attribute. It's filled. It's visible to everybody. And the design, we need to fix it a little bit. At this point, it's not really standing out. So I want to make it so that it stands out that bit more. That looks a bit better. That's probably best. Yeah, there we go. So now we've got the home about and the book a game button. Yeah, probably that size looks pretty good, the large size. So I'm pretty happy with that. That all looks okay. We could also put a border on it if we wanted to, or, you know, some sort of shadow. So let's give a shadow a try there. That looks pretty good. So if I turn that shadow off to nothing by pulling that down to 0, that's how it looked originally. And that's how it looks with the shadow. So it's only very subtle, but we've got a hover state as well. We're going to go darker still. That looks okay. So let's see how that works. Close that off. Okay, there we go. So now we've got a nice button that pops out where you can really see it very, very clearly to book a game. And that's one of the main things that people do on the website is book games. So that's all good. All right, so now we can start working through the rest of our content and do the branding and things like that. So what we've done in this video is applied the base level item. We've got our contact page now looking reasonable. We've got all the text updated. We've got structured data now because we've got these social media links okay. And we've also changed this standard area here with the members login and that sort of thing. So we can see that's all looking pretty good. So that members login, I'm actually going to change that to the book a game. So let's just finish that off and then we'll jump into, just moving quickly while I go ahead and edit everything. And I'll stop my commentary while I go ahead and do that. But you'll be able to see where we take this to. And then in the video following this one, we'll start making custom post types and using ACF with Kadence to start making some custom features for the website. Okay, so we just want to get that little footer area done. So if we go into pages, we're going to go to the contact page. And down here at the members login, I can edit that. Put my link in, just like so. Say no follow, open a new tab. Update that. The view course guide doesn't go anywhere yet, so I can put a hash inside that. Because that's going to go to the custom archive page for my post type. I'm going to make a custom post type for the viewing of the course guide. Now, all of this content here is in a row layout. We see there's an empty row layout below that. So I'm going to delete that out. And then this one here, we're going to rename that. And it's going to be called footer block. Okay, so that's now my footer block with my standard CTA links. Can rename that one. That's going to be my header. And this bit here. Just like that. There we go. So now we've got those main elements all in place and they're all nicely named. Now from here, we can actually copy this footer. And what I want to be able to do is have a standard element. So I'm going to go to Kadence Elements. And you'll see here that we can do different elements with sections and templates and things like that. So I'm going to add a new one. And this is going to be called a content section. It's just going to be called top footer. So this will go on top of the footer. And we can see we've got the Parks Golf Guide element here. So I'll click on Publish. And that's now ready to be placed. And then I can click over here in the blocks area. And what I want to be able to do is make sure that this is placed where I want it to be placed. So we've got that element settings there. So it's a content section. And we want to work out where on the site we want it to be placed. So I want it to be placed after content, like so. And then the display settings is show on. And I'm going to actually just say a particular page right now, single pages, and then, oh, that's not it. Where is it? Okay, so I want that on the contact page, about, members, and home. Select like so and click update. Now the Play Parks Golf item will be added automatically to every page. So let's go ahead and visit the site, and we can see that here it is on the home page there. So that has been injected, so it means it's one piece of content everywhere. When I go to the About page, there it is again. We have the old one here, and we've got the new one that's placed underneath it. Members page, scroll down, same again. So I've got this piece of content that I can edit in one spot, and it updates everywhere. So that's a really handy thing to have. And there we've got it doubled up on the contact page. So I'm going to say edit now, and then I'm going to remove this element here, delete like so, then say update. Now, I know that some of you might be thinking, why wouldn't I just use a reusable block? Well, the reason why is sometimes with reusable blocks, they didn't update in other places. If you've got dynamic information or anything like that and you update the block, you quite often have to go around the website and update it everywhere. It doesn't update in every single instance. That used to be the case. Whether that is in the version of WordPress that you're using today, I couldn't tell you because Gutenberg is changing quickly, the Gutenberg and Page Builder projects, so WordPress moves quickly also. So that may change. But as of the time of building this, I've found that it's generally a very reliable thing to do, is to use the Kadence tools inside the Elements area to be able to deal with this. Now when I go ahead and edit the top footer, it will edit everywhere, and we can see which pages it's been added to over here. I also get a shortcode I can use anywhere if I decide to use it in a template or something like that. So quite a handy thing to have. Okay, so I'm going to go into my About page, edit that, and that footer element that I had before down here with this newsletter subscription. We don't need that, so we're going to delete it. Click update there. So now when I view the page, we can see we've got the Play Parks Golf with the view the course guide and the members login. Now I'm going to change that to book a game. So the members login is going to become book a game. So let's go into the dashboard. We go to Appearance, Elements. I can click Edit here in the top footer. Go over here and it says saying members login, book a game. Like that. So we can see that's all working. Click Update. Then visit the site. And even though I haven't edited the home page, we can see it now says book a game. If we go to the contact page, book a game. So we can see what that did. It's gone ahead and updated that element everywhere. Now when I edit that background image to put a golf image in and things like that, it's going to update everywhere. So a super handy thing to have. Anyway, I hope that gives you a good understanding of how we go about editing pages and starting with a template. I'm going to go ahead and now work through quickly all of these other items. And then after I've finished that off, I'll come back, create the next video where we're going to show you how we make a custom post type and how we use ACF to make our course guide. So that's really saying these are all the holes on the course, hole 1 through 18. So that will be where we pick up for this tutorial. If you've got any questions at all, leave a question in the comments below and I'll happily get back to you.